6 hikers collapsed in seconds, foaming at the mouth, bleeding, screaming. Only one survived. This is the Khamar Daban Incident, a forgotten Russian tragedy buried in the shadows of Dyatlov Pass. They built a fire, cooked, ate, laughed. And then, it began. No warning, no sound, just a sudden shift in the air. Alexander, one of the strongest, was the first to fall. He made a strange noise, half gasp, half scream, and collapsed. His hands clutched at his chest, at his throat. He convulsed violently, his eyes bulging in terror. Foam erupted from his mouth. Blood followed, seeping from his lips, his nose. The others rushed to help, but before they could understand what was happening, Tatiana went down, then Victoria. Within seconds, chaos tore through the group like a plague. Some screamed, some clawed at their throats, some tried to run, only to stumble and fall, their bodies convulsing in the wet grass, eyes rolling, mouths open in silent agony. Blood streamed from noses and ears. Their bodies twitched, seized, then went still. Lyudmila, the leader, died watching them. Unable to stop it, unable to understand. Only 2 were left standing, Valentina, frozen in terror, and Dennis, who turned and ran into the trees, but even Dennis wouldn't make it. His body was found later, stiff and lifeless, with blood pooled under his nose and a look of sheer panic etched into his expression. Valentina didn't scream. She couldn't. She didn't run. She didn't even cry. She just stood there, amid the bodies of her friends, the gurgling silence, the echoes of what had just happened, and waited. The night fell fast and brutal. The temperature dropped, the mist thickened, and Valentina, only 17, made a shelter from branches, pulled the sleeping bags over herself, and curled into the fetal position beside the bodies of her companions. She stayed that way for nearly 2 days. When she finally fled, it wasn't in panic, it was in silence. She moved carefully, deliberately, making her way down through thick, wet forest, crossing rivers and cliffs barefoot, hungry, numb. She spoke to no one. When she reached the nearest village, her face was hollow. Her voice, when it finally returned, was not her own. She told them what happened, what she remembered, and nothing made sense. The authorities responded slowly. It was days before they reached the site. By then, the bodies had been exposed to the elements, some partially buried by rain and rocks. The decomposition was advanced, but the scene was wrong. The expressions on the corpses weren't peaceful. They were twisted, contorted, eyes wide, mouths agape, as if their final moments had been filled with unimaginable terror. The official explanation was swift and suspicious: hypothermia, stress, malnutrition, perhaps even panic-induced madness. But none of it added up. It was summer. There was no frostbite, no indication of starvation. And what kind of mass hysteria causes 6 people to simultaneously foam at the mouth and die bleeding?